Bin Sun Refining and Petrochemical Joint Stock Company, BSR, is a member of Vietnam Oil and Gas Group. BSR is responsible for receiving, managing, and operating Yung Wat Oil Refinery plant. The refinery is located in Yung Wat Economic Zone, Bin Sung District, Quang Ngai Province. The project has an investment of $3 billion USD, with processing capacity being 6.5 million tons of crude oil per year, equivalent to 148,000 barrels per day. In the future, the plant will be expanded to 8.5 million tons of crude oil per year. The area of existing refinery includes onshore area, about 688 hectares, and offshore, about 471 hectares. The main products of the refinery are A92 and A95 gasoline, automotive diesel oil, FO oil, kerosene, Jet A1 fuel, LPG liquefied gas, propylene, and polypropylene. Environmental protection is not only one of the top priorities of Bin Sung Petrochemical Company, but is also an important factor contributing to the sustainable development of BSR and the community. Bin Sun Refinery and Petrochemical Joint Stock Company is under the direction of Vietnam Oil and Gas Group. We are always aware of the importance of environmental protection. We have set up a management system and operating procedures to strictly comply with all regulations on environmental protection. In the operation of the plant, the main sources of pollution include gas emission, the generation of industrial wastewater, solid waste, and hazardous waste. In order to effectively control all the environmental aspects relative to BSR operation and business, the international standard ISO 14001 for environmental management system has been applied in BSR. The refinery has many environmental protection units with most advanced technology in the world, such as the Effluent Treatment Plant, ETP, Unit 58, the Electrostatic Precipitation, ESP, for removing fine particles or dust in emission gas in RFCC unit, and Tail Gas Treatment and Sulfur Recovery, SRU unit. Wastewater Treatment System. The Effluent Treatment Plant, Unit 58, has a capacity of 560 meters squared per hour. Wastewater consists of a variety of processes, and surface runoff wastewater are collected, classified, and treated in separate steps. For oily water, firstly, free oil is separated from the wastewater by corrugated plate interceptors, CPI. After CPI, the effluent will be bumped into the balancing tank, TK5804. The tank is to serve as a buffer for the next step of chemical mixing and dissolved air flotation, DAF, to separate the emulsified fine oil and the majority of the remaining TSS from the effluent. After being treated in the DAF, the outlet flow will be combined with a flow from the first stage biological treatment, phenol removal, then flows to the second stage biological treatment. In this step, most of the COD and the BOD is eliminated by biodegradation. The mixed solution from the second stage biological is sent to the clarifier where sludge separation is taking place. One part of the sludge is sent to the thickener, while the remaining is pumped back to the aeration tank. Sludge is finally pumped to land farming. The treated effluent from the clarifier is then sent to the sand filter basin in order to remove the remaining TSS after the biological treatment. The final treated water will be sent to the guard basin for inspection and eliminating the last bacteria contained in the effluent before being discharged into the sea. Inside the basin, the parameters of COD, TSS, oil, pH, temperature, and flow rate are monitored by online system. Gas emission. The typical pollutants in emission of refinery are dust and sulfur compounds. The flue gas coming from the catalytic regeneration CO boiler of the RFCC unit is sent to the electrostatic precipitator ESP for removal of fine particles before emission via stack. Dust content in gas emissions meets the National Technical Regulation on Emission of Refining and Petrochemical Industry. The off gas with high content of sulfur compounds, acid gas, will be sent to the Sulfur Recovery Unit SRU for converting all sulfur compounds present in the acid gas feeds into elemental sulfur. The current SRU capacity is 18 tons of sulfur per day. In the future, the unit will expand to a capacity of 200 tons of sulfur per day. The recovered sulfur is also a commercial product of BSR. The final treated gas is emitted via the refinery's stacks. The height of all stacks is designed based on gas emission models to ensure the gas diffusion and meet National Technical Regulation on Emission of Refining and Petrochemical Company. In order to ensure all the environmental protection units are effectively operated and reliable, the parameters of treated effluent emission are monitored by online monitoring system as well as daily analyzed by BSR's laboratory. All data from online monitoring shall be continuously sent to the Department of Natural Resources and Environment of Wang Nai. Solid waste and hazardous waste. Besides wastewater and gas emission, the plant also generates large amount of solid and hazardous waste such as industrial waste, used catalysts, chemicals, activated carbon, absorbents, oil-contaminated minerals, sludge, and other waste. All the generated wastes are properly controlled, classified at sources such as recycled waste, non-recycled waste, hazardous waste, then temporarily handled in the designated waste storages inside the plant. These storages meet the requirements for temporary waste storage. The classified waste will then be transferred to licensed and contracted contractor for transportation and disposal. The process of waste disposal at a contractor's premise is also regularly audited by BSR supervisors to ensure it is properly handling and disposal following the contract requirements and regulations. Although response to environmental incidents. The possible occurrence of environmental incidents include oil spills, chemical spills, fire and explosions, and others. In order to respond to these incidents proactively, BSR has established the Emergency Management Team, response procedures, and preparedness of all necessary facilities and equipment for ready response to incidents. The BSR's emergency response plans, ERPs, are appraised and approved by authorized agencies. These ERPs are drilled periodically with the participation and witness by authorities. Environmental protection dissemination and training. All company and contractors working personnel in BSR are trained on health, safety, and environment, HSE, prior to start their work in BSR. In addition, in order to raise awareness of the environmental protection for personnel of BSR, contractors, and the community, BSR regularly organizes activities on environmental protection at the workplace and residential area around the refinery. The environmental protection is always concerned by BSR's leaders and committed to continuous improvement. BSR complies with the provisions of the law on environmental protection. In their operation and business, BSR is always proactive in learning, performing, and complying with regulations. BSR has many compliments on environmental protection performance by the authorities as well as the leaders of Wang Nai and government. BSR has been awarded many environmental protection awards, including certificates of merit certified by the chairman of the People's Committee. BSR is one of the best companies on environmental protection compliance, not only in the area of Yonghua Economic Zone, but also in the Wang Nai province.
bay trên bầu trời trong xanh. Bạn hãy nhớ về chúng tôi, vượt qua dặm trường xa xôi. Bạn hãy nhớ về chúng tôi. BSA sức sống cho đời, ngọn lửa nơi đây thắp lên tình yêu